What's up? What's happening, folks? Welcome back to the channel, Sports Life and Politics TV. I'm Samuel Koppel, YouTube's #1 couch detective, and I'm here for the news. And here today, I'm going to be going over several clips. Starting out with this judge caught doing a drive-by. The Iranian president dies. Las Vegas man kills his neighbor. Somebody had tried to stage a coup in the Congo. Come to find out, some Americans were involved, and a few other clips. But let's start out with Brian Lovell, a judge in Oklahoma, who's out here sliding on the ops, a.k.a. Judge Dredd, Judge Jury, and he was trying to be the executioner. Now, he's out here stepping on everything. You got Brian Lovell messed all the way up. Let's take a look at this first clip.
A Garfield County Associate District Judge indicted on charges related to a drive-by shooting.
We've told you about Judge Brian Lovell. This incident happened in February of last year near the town of Bison.
According to the indictment, Lovell allegedly fired a gun at the home of his brother-in-law. We spoke with Kenneth Marks last November. He says a vehicle stopped along the road near.
And that's his brother-in-law. He tried to wipe his nose. And if you don't know what wipe his nose means, that's slang for killing somebody. So he's out here doing drive-bys like a Chicago hood nigga. This is unbelievable. Let's keep the video going.
Home and someone started shooting.
And he believes he was the intended target, saying his relationship with the judge is strained at best.
I have no contact with him or anything, and I haven't had for the last 10, 15 years.
Well, court records show investigators recovered 5 spent.
And not only is he the #1 white big stepper, but he's also using a 40 cal Glock with a switch on it. He's out here sliding for real. And that is a gangster gun, a 40. Unbelievable. They say they found 540 shell casings, window, tile, oven. So he shot through the house and hit the wall, the tile, and the oven through the window. Unbelievable.
Shell casings in front of Kenneth's home. Lovell was arrested for reportedly firing a gun in Austin, Texas last September, too. Investigators were able to make the connection after shell casings from both shootings matched.
Lovell reportedly told investigators he was at church when the shooting near Bison happened.
Of course he was.
2 days later, after that shooting, the judge reported the gun was stolen from his vehicle.
Well, now he faces felonies here in Oklahoma and in Texas for both incidents.
So Brian Lovell is sliding from state to state. I mean, this is a real hitter right here, y'all. Got one more clip of Brian Lovell. Let's take a look.
Oklahoma judge in court, but on the opposite side of the bench.
He was there to face newly filed felony charges for allegedly shooting up his own brother-in-law's home. News 4's Amaya Ward went to Enid for today's hearing.
The judge entered a not guilty plea on behalf of Brian Lovell, his attorney telling me they plan to fight this case vigorously.
We intend to attack the jurisdiction and soundness of the indictment.
My God, if that was his judge, that man he had to have been born in 1902. He had to be born in 19. Look how old this man's lawyer was.
Attorney telling me they plan to fight this case vigorously.
We intend to attack the jurisdiction and soundness of the indictment.
A multi-county grand jury indicted Garfield County Associate District Judge Brian Lovell Thursday on 2 felony counts for a drive-by shooting in February 2023. The alleged target.
Hey, and I guarantee you when he did that drive-by, he was listening to that new Kendrick Lamar. Hey, 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 run for your life. Oh, my God.
His own brother-in-law. We talked to him months after.
I had no idea that it could have been Brian Lovell.
Kenneth Marcus says his son saw an unfamiliar car moments before bullets began flying.
Seeing a person in a window and missing by a matter of inches is not just a random shooting.
Months later, investigators said...
Let me say this. Something is being left out of this case. Why did the judge want to do the drive-by? They said in the last clip that they had a strained relationship. How strained? What? If you bring an indictment against a judge, you got some pretty sound evidence. The thing is, it's like when you see a mouse, when you see one there, by that time it's 50 of them. So how many other shootings has he gotten away with? Because now he done got comfortable. They said he did a shooting in Oklahoma, and he also slid on some shit in Austin. The number one white big stepper, a.k.a. Judge Dredd, ain't playing out here. He's wiping niggas' noses.
The judge was involved in a road rage shooting in Austin, Texas, and casings from that incident matched the ones used in the drive-by shooting.
He was special judge about 10 years before that.
His attorney, Stephen Jones, who also represented Oklahoma City bomber Timothy McVeigh, won't comment on.
And no wonder why he represented Timothy McVeigh. My goodness. That man is old as dust. Look at that man.
Case in Texas, but is standing by his client on the charges in Oklahoma.
It was a long time before the indictment was returned, and that bears on him and his family. But he's a strong character, in my view. He's innocent.
In Enid, Amaya Ward, Oklahoma's useful work.
All right, Amaya, we know you'll follow what Lovell is expected back in court sometime in August.
I mean, hey, he's pretty much cooked. He's not going to beat this. If those shell cases match some shit that happened last year in Austin, match the same gun that happened, the drive-by shooting at the brother-in-law house in Oklahoma, there's no way in Sam Hill hell he's getting away with that, because he just had recently reported the gun stolen. So he's a done daughter. He's cooked. So when the indictment came down, he knew he was in trouble. The lawyer could say all he wants with them old-ass wooden George Washington teeth that he thinks his client is innocent. He's toast. He just got to, at this point, when they come back and they, when they meet, they have to try to negotiate a plea bargain, because he will be a fool to take this to actual court. Yeah, he's going to lose this. There's no doubt about that. He has a true anger problem. Probably been divorced a couple times. Hey, no, listen to me. When you see these type of people, you got to really dig into their past. I guarantee you these two shootings aren't isolated incidents. Like, he was living the perfect life. He was reading the Bible on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And then Wednesday and Thursday, he was feeding the homeless. And Saturday and Sunday, Friday and Saturday, he was out petting goats. No. He's been acting a fool for a long time. So they're going to end up catching up. I mean, they're going to end up punishing Judge Dredd. How much of a punishment? I don't know. He is a white judge, so we shall see. I will recover this case, but it'll probably be sometime next year before he even gets sentenced, because it might be next year before he even goes to court, and who knows how long before the sentencing. But yeah, a.k.a. Judge Dredd, the number one big white stepper, is out here sliding. Let's take a look at this clip. The Iranian president, along with his foreign minister, dies in a helicopter crash. Now, I've seen several clips on this, and one thing came to my mind immediately. Something's rotten in Denmark with this, because the United States throwing their hands up, the Iranians is throwing their hands up. Israel said they ain't got nothing to do with it. And something's making me think that low Earth orbit satellites with them lasers on it, small EMPs that can tear up, that can blow out the electronics. You can hack helicopters and take control. That's what I think personally happened in the Kobe Bryant case, helicopter crash. You could have drones also have lasers on them. I should have had that pull up so you can see the drones with the actual lasers on them. Because we all know if they say Iran is an enemy of the West, then that means that they have low Earth satellites over them at all times. They know where everybody's going, what everybody's doing. They also have drones flying over Iran at high altitudes all the time. There's no way that I think possible that this was an accident. Now, I always leave room that I can be wrong. Maybe it was just a random occurrence, but they said it was great weather. And when the helicopter took off, all of a sudden the weather went bad. And I talked about on this channel a lot of times about weather manipulation. It was really, really steep fog, but it is a mountainous area. So I'm about 90-10 that this thing was, that somebody actually orchestrated this and took them guys out. There's no doubt. 10% that complete accident, 90% that something ain't right. Let's take a look at the clip.
And now says the deaths are unlikely to have an impact on Iran's actual policies, such as their support for Hamas and their push to provide nuclear weapons. Fox's Rebecca Castro reports from Washington.
After searching for hours in the mountains, Iranian soldiers made it to the crash site on Monday, where a helicopter carrying Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi and the country's foreign minister went down. They found no survivors.
At this point, there is no evidence of foul play. It looks like an accident.
Let me ask you this. How can you say there's no evidence of foul play before you did a full... This is how you know it's some bullshit going on, you guys. How could you say there's no foul play when you have not done a full investigation? Investigation of all the helicopter parts. Everything. This usually an investigation like this with a helicopter crash, this take weeks. You come out the next day. Don't look like foul play to me. Me neither. It's case over. Bullshit. Get the hell out of here. Like I said, EMP, laser with the drone, laser from them satellites. We just don't know. But something ain't right. You can't come out. What if this was legitimate and this is legitimately what they said happened, then Chuck Schumer will say, hey, there'll be a full investigation. We'll get to the bottom of it. We don't, as of right now, we don't think it's no foul play, but there could be foul play, but we just have to do a full investigation. You make it 50-50. It could or maybe not. But he just said, I don't think it's no foul play, and then kept it moving. Like, no way. Something ain't right.
Iranian officials will investigate the crash, and while the country mourns President Raisi's death, analysts say there are many who will not miss him.
Iranian Raisi was considered the butcher of Iran, the butcher of Tehran by Iranians for his personal role in one of the greatest mass executions of political prisoners.
While Raisi's death is a significant loss, it's not likely to change current policy inside Iran, but it does raise questions about the country's future.
The supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, who sets the policy for Iran. And certainly Raisi was a protege and a potential successor to the supreme leader, but he's not determining the policy.
Iran is known for backing militant conflict.
And yeah, the president, the Ayatollah runs Iran. That's been happening since the 70s. The president is more of like a diplomatic figure. Somebody who talks to the public and somebody who goes out, somebody who's really good with words. But really the Ayatollah. So, they're ran by a religious faction, the country of Iran. So, yes, he died, but it's not going to change any of their policies. I'm suspicious. Look, when I say that something suspicious happened, it could have been from within Iran. But I'm also United States, Israel also. So,
Groups like Hamas and Hezbollah. And recently, the regime has cracked down on women's rights, and there's been a massive surge in government-backed executions. The U.S. State Department says those policies will likely continue.
We're going to just trade this terrorist for the next terrorist that the Ayatollahs are going to install.
Iran's Vice President Mohammad Mokhtar will serve as interim president. Iranian law requires new elections be held within 50 days. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
Yeah, something's wrong in Denmark. Iran over the last couple of years have lost a lot of government officials and military generals in airstrikes, and now all of a sudden they're losing the president and the foreign minister in a helicopter crash. That is borderline insane for a country as powerful as Iran is to die in a helicopter crash. You would think they would have the best and the most advanced helicopters that they got. I'm pretty sure that some of their equipment is behind times, there's no doubt, but they still can afford some nice helicopters, believe me. So I don't know what's really going on with that, but something suspicious. I guarantee somebody will come out here eventually and add a little more context to what the hell happened. But I'm completely suspicious. Let's take a look at this next clip. Las Vegas man reportedly kills neighbor after he exposes his genitalia. Now, this is right here in Vegas where I stay. I had to start doing a separate whole news report just on Vegas because we have some of the wildest, wackiest things going on around here. But let's take a look at the clip. But that's in all major cities across America. But Las Vegas is one of them cities, buddy. Let's take a look.
Now, it started with a rowdy neighbor who allegedly...
Yeah, hold on. My bad. I'm sorry.
Now, it started with a rowdy neighbor who allegedly revealed his private parts to children. Now that man is dead and another behind bars.
Thanks for joining us at 5. I'm Denise Valdez.
And I'm Brian.
Well, one question is, if a man shows his neighbor, if the neighbor shows his genitalia to children, do you have the right to kill him? I think you have the right to whip the shit out of him and beat his ass. Kill him, I don't know. I think most people, on face value might say, well, hey, he had it coming. He ain't show his genitalia. And I would somewhat agree, but I don't know if lawfully you can. I don't know if that's lawful that you can actually kill him and get off. Kick his ass, I'm pretty sure you can get off. Kill him, that's going to be tough.
As there are now questions of self-defense, the shooting happened last night near Lake Mead and Hill Point in Summerlin. 8 News Now reporter Ryan Maffey joins us live outside the Clark County Courthouse. Ryan was the only reporter in the room during the alleged shooter's first court appearance.
Well, Brian, Denise, before 32-year-old Eddie Moreno's first initial court appearance, we were in his neighborhood. That's where you still see remnants of Joe Moreno's blood. They don't have the same last name, but they are not related. They're simply just neighbors when an argument took a twist on their property line. This is 32-year-old Eddie Moreno in court Tuesday. Not even 24 hours after being arrested for shooting and killing his neighbor.
Shared 4 gunshots.
This neighbor, who asked not to be identified, recalls chaos during an unsuspecting Monday night with his wife and kids.
There was just a ton of cops on both sides of the street, from one end to the other.
The police confirmed the victim, Joe Moreno, lived here. Documents the 8 News Now investigators obtained show his girlfriend locked him out. His neighbor, Eddie Moreno, who lives here, was coming home with his wife and kids. Documents say Eddie was already armed and witnessed his neighbor acting aggressively, accusing Eddie of breaking into his home. Eddie's wife already on the phone with police. The tensions continued to rise. Documents alleging Joe then took off his pants and began thrusting. Eddie's 5 children were...
Wait a minute. So he didn't turn into Bobby Brown out here, Chris Brown. So he just out here thrusting his hip, ass naked. I mean, that can get you shot. There's no doubt about that. But I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be able to beat this case because he should have just kicked his ass. But it's tough to want to kick somebody's ass when they ass naked and thrusted. I don't know if you want to fight a thrusted man when with his genitalia out. Let's take a listen to that again.
Oh, Eddie's wife already on the phone with police. The tensions continued to rise. Documents alleging Joe then took off his pants and began thrusting. Eddie's 5 children were watching before gunfire. Police indicate the review of this interaction via doorbell footage. In it, Eddie Moreno says, "You're going to get planked up right here." Later saying, "I'm going to murder you." 3 minutes later, he says that's what he gets. He's not going to do that in front of my kids. Are you crazy? Eddie.
That's not good. Because that means you thought about it. I'm supposed to kill you. You can't say that. He's not helping his case.
Turned himself in without incident, police say. A judge denied to set bail Tuesday due to the case's nature.
Feel pretty safe playing out in the streets.
But neighbors indicate the household Joe Moreno lives in has a history of disturbance, several believing the family man they see should be back here. Now, Eddie's wife was also in the courtroom today. She's a bit emotional to go on camera right now at the moment, but she does confirm to me they have 5 kids together. All of them were in the car yesterday. She also calls Eddie the rock of their family, who's not only navigating everything they saw yesterday, but now what they're probably going to be enduring for months longer. Reporting live outside the Regional Justice Center, Ryan Maffey, 8 News Now.
Ryan, thank you. Now, the family of Joe Moreno did not respond to Ryan's request for comment earlier today. Eddie Moreno is back in court, potentially seeking bail that on Thursday.
Let's take another clip of him. I think he's been released from jail now, but now they're throwing a little more sauce in the pot, which is going to create even more confusion with Eddie Moreno. Like I said, this is going to be a tough case for him to beat. He has a small chance, but I don't know, maybe if he caught it on a ring cam but this is a open carry state where you can carry a gun on your hip and you do have the right to defend yourself if you feel like your life is in danger. Let's take a look at this clip.
It's been a week since a Summerlin man allegedly shot and killed his neighbor, who police say may have been exposing himself. But other neighbors say
and thrusting.
First act of violence came weeks earlier.
8 News Now reporter Ryan Maffey shares one landscaper story who questions what could have been done different this time if more action was taken earlier.
32-year-old Eddie Moreno is out of custody and back home here in this Summerlin neighborhood. His house and the property line where he's accused of killing his neighbor is further up the street, but it's where I'm standing that he allegedly partook in a different kind of argument weeks prior to the shooting, all with a different kind of violence.
You can easily look up my address, find out where I live.
Work has become painful for 30-year-old landscaper Ayla Ahmad. She has a few clients here. In the same neighborhood, Eddie Moreno allegedly shot and killed his 47-year-old neighbor, Joe Moreno, on May 13th. He now faces an open murder charge.
And I started banging on my customer's door and yelling and screaming and saying, I need help now, I need help now.
But 5 weeks prior, Ahmad says she was working a job with her business partner and children when Eddie sped around this street corner. She yelled at him to slow down, and he
slammed on his brakes, got out of his car, and started coming at us.
In these documents, Ahmad
Let me say this for women. If you're a woman outside and you see a man speeding by and he ain't hit nobody, let him go. Some of these people are mentally deranged. They're not that mentally stable. And if you're a woman and you can't protect yourself, don't be yelling at men like that. Hey, slow down. They said that she does yard maintenance, so she doesn't even stay around there. Who do you think you are to be yelling at people? I'm not saying he was right. I'm saying for her own safety, why in the hell would you be yelling at him? You don't know who's in that car. What kind of nut job or wacko? So she put herself in a lot of danger by doing that. You just never know who you're talking to. Some things you better off letting them go.
around this street corner. She yelled at him to slow down, and he
slammed on his brakes, got out of his car, and started coming at us.
In these documents, Ahmad told police that Eddie was verbally aggressive outside his car, eventually slapping a phone out of her hands before picking up and throwing her down on the ground. She alleges Eddie.
So he's out here. Eddie Moreno is a WWE wrestler. He's slapping phones like The Rock and picking people up and body slamming them. What the hell is going on with Eddie? Eddie's murder case is getting a little more complex by the day.
Left and returned with his wife, who's quoted as telling her husband to go get the gun.
That ain't good.
From Ahmad show Eddie and his wife in the aftermath.
I'm gonna murder you. That was in the first case where he murdered the neighbor. Then his wife tell him to go get the gun with these other yard maintenance people. Not good, Eddie.
Over his head, like MS style, and threw him on the street.
This family, who asked to conceal their identities, say they watched the exchange unfold that Ahmad said left her with bruises and a fractured shoulder. They asked for privacy since they claimed using mace on Eddie to end the fight.
I know we're supposed to have limitations, but in my brain I go, well, he knows he's up for murder already. What else could he do, you know?
Whether it's anger or whatever's going on, that he thinks that this is an okay way to behave, I'm afraid of what's going to happen to me.
These documents also show police did not respond to the scene until about 4.5 hours after the fight had.
And that's a little shocking because I stay right here in Summerlin too. So I don't stay too far from where this happened at. And it's shocking that it took the police this long. But I learned our local police department that's right around the corner from my head is closed on Sundays. I was a little shocked, even though the Las Vegas PD is still out. But I was a little shocked to hear that. So I wonder what day exactly this took place on.
An okay way to behave, I'm afraid of what's going to happen to me.
These documents also show police did not respond to the scene until about 4.5 hours after.
That's a long time.
At that time, it was about 11 o'clock at night. It goes on to say they did not make contact with Moreno at the time due to the time of day they responded. Reporting in Summerlin, Ryan Matthew, 8 News Now.
Ryan, thank you. No charges have been filed against Moreno for this incident. His lawyer and wife have repeatedly not responded to our request for comments. Ryan's request for comments and Moreno's open murder charge moves forward now in August.
Yeah, they might try to use that in court. Let's take a look at this clip. I'm not going to watch this whole 4 minutes, but Congo says America's involved in foiled deadly coup. So somebody tried to overthrow the government in the Congo. The United States and CIA has a history of staging coups to overthrow governments. And they use proxies, they use a couple Americans, and they always throw their hands up. When the coup goes wrong, they throw their hands up in complete denial. And when you get caught, you're completely on your own. Let's take a look at this clip.
Tonight, at least 6 people are dead and 50 detained after the military of the Democratic Republic of the Congo says it foiled a coup attempt.
This
Video of the attack inside the presidential palace, verified by Reuters, was live streamed on Facebook early Sunday morning by the alleged leader of the failed coup, Christian Malanga. Malanga at one point standing next to a man that appears to be his American-born son, Marcel, in American.
If he covered his face to disguise himself, he is terrible at it, isn't he? How you gonna cover your face after after walking into the view of the camera? Man, let's watch this again. This is just, hey, listen to me. When you dealing with people that's incompetent, this is supposed to have been foiled. This was supposed to have been spoiled. There ain't no way this shit was supposed to work. Let's take a look at this again. Watch this clown.
Christian Malanga. Malanga at one point standing next to a man that appears to be his American-born son, Marcel, an American flag visible on the younger Malanga's chest. The older Malanga said the Congolese military is tired of the president. A president, Malanga said, has messed up the country and must leave office. The president did not leave office. Within hours, Christian Malanga was dead, killed during a shootout with presidential palace guards, according to a spokesperson with the Congolese army.
Cette tentative.
They say 2 guards at the presidential palace and 3 other assailants were also killed. The Congolese military says the coup attempt involved 3 Americans, including one they identified as Malanga's son, Marcel, who, according to the AP, appears to be in this video being circulated online by the presidential palace. More footage circulated.
Hey, when you try to stage a coup and it don't work and you get caught, hey, they just to wear your ass out before they kill you. You almost rather got shot you rather almost got killed in the shootout than to be captured. Me personally, if I'm trying to stage a coup and I'm part of that, even if I'm just a regular part of the military wing, I want to die right then if it's not gonna work. Ain't no way I want to be caught and drugged through the mud. Ain't no telling what they doing to these people. Oh man, they dog walking their ass.
By the presidential palace shows several unidentified Congolese men being rounded up by soldiers.
It was a very bizarre attempt to take power. It's not clear what the objective was. It also indicates that the security services, the intelligence services, were very poorly organized. After all, they were able to attack and briefly control the presidential palace.
U.S. Embassy issued a security alert on Sunday, and the American ambassador to DRC said in part, quote, "We will cooperate with the DRC authorities to the fullest extent as they investigate these criminal acts and hold accountable any U.S. citizen involved in criminal acts."
And when that young man who they say was his son came over there, they knew why he was over there. United States is, listen, I always talk about the United States intelligence apparatus and how they have everything tapped and they know who's who and who's doing what and who's in communication with who. So like I said, when you get caught, you are 100% on your own. And the United States is going to act like they don't know what the hell's going on and why you would even be over there doing that, knowing they were part of the plan. Because sometimes you have stuff that's low level. That might happen at low level. It ain't from the top of the CIA. It might be from the bottom of the CIA. And they might say, well, yeah, and, the top of the, they don't mind if the government is overthrown, but they don't want to put their full weight behind it. So you throw some loose shit over there and see how weak it is. And if it foil, cool. If not, we'll get him 10 years down the line.
The attempted coup is another black eye for the Congolese government. President Felix Tshisekedi was re-elected for a second term back in December. But opposition parties called the results a sham and demanded a rerun. The government dismissed allegations of fraud and ultimately rejected calls for a rerun of the elections.
All right, Allison Barber joins us now.
I mean, the moral of the story is that they tried to stage a coup. It was foiled, and it was never going to work. But they just threw something in the wind and see if it caught. If not, it's okay. They'll overthrow him another day. They'll take him on serious next time. But he's on notice. The president of the Congo is officially on notice. His time is limited now. Let's take a look at this. Jacksonville sheriff, former Boston Red Sox player, and 26 others were caught in a pedophile sting Operation Valiant Nights. Now, Florida, I think they lead the league in catching pedophiles. I've covered so many of these cases like this, and it just boggles my mind how many people are into underage children. It's mind-boggling. Take a look at the clip.
More than 24 men arrested for child sex crimes during a 4-day sting operation.
We do not want our kids being victims of these predators.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Heather Crawford.
And I'm Anthony Austin. Our top story on this Monday, among the 27 arrested, a former Major League Baseball player, a Duval County.
I love when they be arrested and they eye be black and they got banged around. Hey, you don't want to go to jail with this on you, with this label on your jacket as a pedophile, because you finna take it. You listen to me. Not only can you take an ass whooping from the cops, you also finna get your ass railroaded within the jail system, whether it be the county or the prison system. You're gonna have it real hard.
Schools employee, a Mayo Clinic respiratory therapist.
Jacksonville Sheriff T.K. Waters announced.
And that former MLB pitcher was out here really trying to throw fastballs at small kids. Unbelievable.
Arrest during a press conference this afternoon. Zach Wilcox was there and is on your side live tonight outside of JSO headquarters. And Zach, most of those men who were arrested, they were arrested when they thought they were actually going to be children, right?
Yeah, Heather, they thought that they were meeting up with the children that they've been talking with online and that they were heading to their predetermined location. Only when they got there, they found out the children they were talking to weren't in fact children at all. They were police officers who were.
And they always lure them over there, and it's always. I remember they used to have To Catch a Predator. It was always an odd combination. Like the little girl would come in and offer some tea and cookies. Tea and cookies don't go together in America. I don't know where the hell you should have knew you was in trouble as soon as you heard tea and cookies. But you got like some watermelon and popcorn. Yeah, come on in here. Boom, here comes watermelon and popcorn don't go together. What the hell's going on? These people always get busted. That lets you know how sexually depraved and how sick these people are in the mind and how they're willing to risk it all just to have sex with a minor.
There to arrest them.
In their minds, they knew they were meeting minors. They were going to.
He came out that door like Brian Urlacher, didn't he? He came out that door like Brian Urlacher. I thought I was watching Chicago Bears on 3rd and 1. Unbelievable. See that again.
At all, they were police officers who were there to arrest them.
In their minds, they knew they were meeting minors. They were going to a specific location to have sexual intercourse with kids.
Over the course of 4 days in late April,
Down said hut.
24 men, one by one,
Get him. Whoop his ass.
Stops and at gas stations across the city. Investigators say
Look at this sicko. Fat pervert.
Online, but instead were handcuffed.
Why did I do this? Why?
He said, "Why did I do this?"
3 people later, bringing the total to 27.
As you can see from these photographs, these men run the gamut of ages, backgrounds, and races. But I'm just very happy with all.
Some of the men arrested had significant profiles in the community, like Austin Maddox, a pitcher for the 2017 Boston Red Sox, or Malcolm McGee, a sergeant with the Army National Guard. First Coast News crime and safety expert Mark Bachman says the development in technology has made it easier for predators to hide in plain sight and easier for them to be caught.
Yep.
The internet evolved and all these different chat rooms, databases, websites came up and they were used. And they've just been exploited over the last decade. Yes, it's all captured. You have all of it, you memorialize it, you bring it in.
According to arrest reports, officers use websites like Skip the Games, Whisper, and No Strings Attached Jacksonville to start talking with the men. Sheriff Waters says the arrest serves as a reminder for parents to stay vigilant.
It's very important for us to set as many protections on our computers.
Skip the games.
If you don't, sometimes
Tea and cookies. When the app says watermelon and popcorn, get out of there.
Sexual activity or human trafficking, which is a first-degree felony in downtown. Zach Wilcox, First Coast News on your side.
Thank God for them. They're doing God's work. All of those people need to be caught. There's no doubt about that. And every time they do these type of things, I just give them a standing ovation. God bless America and no place else. But let's take a look at this. Rape dungeon suspect. They got Amigo. Amigos out here trying to serve chalupas. Fried hard. Let's take a look at the clip.
Investigators call this man a monster and describe the blood-curdling screams and the body cam footage that made even the most seasoned shake at the LA County Sheriff's Department. This is a first look at the suspected serial rapist, 39-year-old Eduardo Sarabia. Investigators say he's a transient and illegal immigrant from Mexico, now locked up with no bail. LASD investigators strongly believed
5'4". This is a little guy. Usually when Amigo get a van, he's serving some carne asada, some kind of burrito, some kind of goddamn shrimp bowl or something out of there. Amigo was serving up nothing but fried hard chalupas. This is ridiculous. 160 pounds, 5'4", and ready to go. So he had him I can't say the R word, a sexual assault van. Wait a minute. Where did he get a van this nice as an illegal immigrant? Wait a damn minute. Something's not adding up. Look at this shit here. Usually when Amigo gets a van like this, he gonna serve you some kind of carne asada out of it. I didn't know he was serving up sexual assaults.
the rapes he's charged with are not the only ones. Sarabia is formally charged with 2 felony counts of sexual assault for forcible rape of a woman just a few days ago on Sunday, May 12th, and a 26-year-old woman on Monday the 13th. 2 heroic deputies caught him in the act inside a white van in the San Gabriel Mountains and arrested him yesterday. There are a lot of very disturbing and heartbreaking details surrounding these 2 incidents that sound straight out of a horror movie, but we can't release them yet without jeopardizing LASD's case. This is a look at that, quote, rape dungeon.
Wait a minute, they didn't gave the van a name. Well, they said the name is Rape Dungeon on Wheels. Where in the hell did he get this nice van? They didn't say it was stolen. Where did he get this van from? And they didn't gave it a name?
Wheels, a van they say disgustingly outfitted for rape. It's a 2015 Ford.
Outfitted for rape. So he had that thing rigged up for rape in there. They need to show the inside. I want to see how that looks in there. Outfitted. So you know what that means. So back there, however he had it where he could make because he's only 5'4". So he won't make shit easy. He don't want nobody, because if the woman too big, they might can take Amigo. I want to see the inside.
Van, essentially a mobile cage with no windows in the back. Now a crime scene on wheels filled with evidence and under 24-hour surveillance in the LASD San Dimas parking lot. And this is where Sarabia would take his victims at night, a dark, scary, remote location in the Angeles National Forest with no chance of a cell signal. It's up Highway 39 in the Azusa Canyon at mile marker 21 in a pitch black dirt turnout. It's frankly a miracle that the deputies even found the van described from the first rape victim in the remote area of the mountains where LASD is drastically understaffed and people who do live in the area are begging for more law enforcement officers.
That's a good question. How did they find him up there? That's interesting. They say they understaffed. He's out in the mountain somewhere and they found him. I would love to know how they found him.
First rape victim in the remote area of the mountains where LASD is drastically understaffed and people who do live in the area are begging for more law enforcement officers to help patrol it and keep them safe. The Special Victims Bureau strongly believes there are more rape victims and needs the public's help for those victims to come forward and help ensure this man stays locked up and doesn't harm anybody else. So this investigation is undoubtedly in the preliminary stage with many more developments and details to release as investigators sift through all the evidence at the crime scene and inside that van and speak to the survivors. If you have any information, please call the Special Victims Bureau of the LA County Sheriff's Department right away. Sarabia will be back in Pomona Court at the end of June.
Well, what I want to know is where the hell did he get that nice ass van from? And who helped him fit it for rape? He's only 5'4". But them little Mexicans from Mexico, they do work hard and they do build work on houses and all type. But he don't look like he been doing that. He looked like he just been out here taking shit. And I would imagine he got an accomplice. He got an accomplice somewhere. Somebody helped him rig up that little rape dungeon on wheels. And the moral of the story with this is, if an Amigo Offer you a chalupa fried hard with extra sour cream and guacamole. Get out of Dodge. Let's take a look at this next clip, you guys. Pod of orcas sink 50-foot yacht in Moroccan waters. Now, I've covered these orcas before, and these people keep going back out there, and we don't know a lot about wildlife like we think we do. We still learning. We just on the very cusp of learning about these. It used to only be two different type of orcas, which was residential orcas, and you had transient orcas. Ones who kind of stayed in the same area, and other ones who went up and down the Pacific, up and down the Atlantic. They traveled a long way. That's why they would call them transient. Now they got a third kind of orca. So they let you know they not learn. They still learning about these animals. That's why you can't trust what science says. Science is ever evolving on what they say. There's no doubt about that. But the white man keeps going out here fucking with these orcas and want to see the orcas, man. I don't want to see no orcas. I can live a whole lifetime without seeing an orca. They are a beautiful animal. Now, if I was on the beach and seen a pile of orcas, great. If I was on a cruise ship and seen some orcas, great. But I'm not going to go where they at just to go see them and be fucking with them. But for whatever reason, these orcas are continuously sinking ships. This is a 50-foot yacht now. They ain't sinking small boats. They sinking big boats. That let you know how intelligent these animals are. And they're doing this for a reason because they're doing it over and over. But let's take a look at the clip.
It's the kind of heart-stopping wildlife encounters sailors dread. Killer whales ramming boats, at times breaking the rudders, leaving the boats unsteerable, or worse, sinking them. And now it's happened again. The crew of the 50-foot Albaran cognac sailboat called for help early Sunday, a few miles from the Strait of Gibraltar in Moroccan waters, saying orcas damaged the rudder and the yacht was taking on water. The crew rescued. The boat sank. The same pod of orcas have been toying with boats off the Atlantic coast of Spain, Portugal, and France since 2020. More than 400 encounters, sinking at least 5 boats.
That's unbelievable.
Sailors call this attacks, and biologists don't call it attacks because we don't know why they're doing it. One hypothesis is that this is some kind of faithfulness. They swim over,
Hey, these some of the smartest mammals in the sea. They not playing. They serious. These orcas are so smart, they learn how to kill great white sharks by flipping them upside down. Then they become paralyzed, and then they just eat the liver like a delicacy. They don't eat nothing out of the shark except the liver. They learn how to kill them. Then when they kill them, they just eat the liver and leave the rest of the shark. So great whites are running from these guys. These guys are I seen these guys hunting seals, and they came in and the seal was on a piece of ice. They used a wave. They came in simultaneously, like 4 of them, dipped, used a wave. The wave splashed the damn otter off the seal off the ice into the water. Hey, man, I seen them coming literally simultaneously come from 4 different directions and create a tidal wave. Or come together at four at a time and create tidal waves. Use their tail to splash. Use bubbles to create like a fog of confusion where the animal don't know which way to go. Hey, man, these things are extremely intelligent. So you telling me, oh, they're just playing. They ain't playing.
And then they leave again. Orcas, the largest member of the dolphin family, can grow up to 32 feet long and weigh 6 tons, living as long as 90 years. This particular pod is critically endangered, and scientists say it returns to the same area every year looking for bluefin tuna. Marine conservation group Ocean Camp.
There it is. There's the clue I was looking for right there. They overhunting the tuna. The orcas see them. Look, when the orca out in the ocean, they can see all this shit. They extremely intelligent. If you taking all they tuna, when they see a boat, now they like, you stealing our food. So now you are enemy. I just solved the whole case right here. I just solved the whole case. They hunt bluefin tuna. We love tuna as humans. So that's what's going on. They seeing these boats, they sinking them, they breaking them. They saying, don't come out here when we out here. We want the tuna.
Stressing, we do not believe that the orca's behavior is any form of revenge or a deliberate attack on people.
It's attack on the boats who's taking all this tuna. So if an orca sees fishing boats catching tuna, and they see this over and over again, they can tell, okay, this is a behavior. They keep coming in here and they keep taking the tuna. So now when we see the boat, I don't care what boat it is. I don't know if you're taking the tuna or not taking the tuna, but I don't want your ass out here.
Experts think the orcas may actually be teaching each other how to break boat rudders.
100%.
It was only 3 of the orcas in this small population that had this peculiar behavior. Now more than half the individuals in the population is doing it.
Spanish Maritime Rescue now telling sailors to steer clear of the area from April to August. Stay close to the coast and don't try to harm the animals.
So, Kelly, what experts think about why this has been happening in this particular region?
Well, they're not completely sure, but marine biologists do say that this behavior has only been seen in this pod, in this specific area, and the pods often develop their own unusual behaviors, or fads as they call them, and then drop them just as quickly. They compare the behavior to a dog playing with a ball. Just so happens that this pod is still.
Did you hear that dumbass shit? Did you hear that's like a dog playing with the ball? They just said they've been doing this shit since 2020. They've sunk 5 ships. They've broken fucking 100 rudders. What are you talking about? Like a dog playing with a ball? This thing is so much smarter than a dog. This is ridiculous. Dogs are smart too, but I'm just saying, this thing, if you look at the orca, the size of the brain on the orca, it's huge. These are not stupid animals. They actually have distinct dialects and communication, and each orca speaks its own, each kind of orca speaks its own language, and each pod has a different dialect amongst each other. All orcas don't speak the same exact language. Hey man, these people
Very interested in playing with boat runners for a 4th year in a row. Now,
even she don't believe it. Let's go back. Let me go back. Let's hear what she said again. Hear that again.
Area, and the pods often develop their own unusual behaviors, or fads as they call them, and then drop them just as quickly. They compare the behavior to a dog playing with a ball. Just so happens that this pod is still very interested in playing with boat runners for a 4th year in a row.
See?
These animals are protected, so it's illegal to hurt or harass them, but it's become such an issue, Savannah, that the sailing community now has a website to log these encounters and also give advice on how to stay safe. Savannah.
Yeah, maybe stay away. All right. Thank you.
Hey, she called it. Stay away from them damn animals. Well, let's take up this last clip of the day, you guys. Snake fell from the sky into Texas woman's arm. Then she was attacked by a hawk. I always make these videos about white people and animals. Obviously, this was a random occurrence, but I always ask the questions, do white people hate animals? The answer is no. Do animals hate white people? No. But do white people respect animals? The answer is absolutely not. And it seems like they always, how you have a snake fall out the sky? What are the chances of that? Take a look at the clip.
And tonight, a story of survival you've really got to see to believe. A Texas woman says a snake fell from the sky, wrapped around her arm, and then tried biting her face. But that's not all. All this is happening while a hawk swooped down and then tried grabbing the snake off of her arm. Fox 26's Matthew Seedorf meeting with that woman here tonight, who says she is just thankful to be alive.
I do this as therapy to kind of help me realize that this probably is never going to happen again.
A rare sign.
Man, she didn't got some stuffed snake and put it on her arm. I mean, that's why I say white people, I don't know what it is. They think they won with nature, and they just are not. They are not. They get ran over by buffaloes. They get attacked by rabid foxes. They get bit by snakes. They get mauled by bears. They get fucking chewed up by alligators and crocs. And they all, mountain lions chasing them out the woods. They want to go on a friendly jog to where the mountain lions lay. Like, what the hell is wrong with white people? And then not only did she get, but now she want to memorialize this shit. What's wrong with her? I hope another snake drop on the other arm and a hawk come get that one too.
Simultaneous snake and hawk attack cutting a Texas woman deep. Are you looking up now?
Yeah, I'm constantly looking up.
Her arm now wrapped in healing, but emotionally it's tough.
The nightmares are horrific. They're terrible.
Out in Silsbee, Texas.
If the nightmare is so terrible, why would you memorialize it with a snake that goes, a stuffed snake that goes around your arm? If it's so terrible. Usually people, when they have them type of fears, they wouldn't even play with even a fake snake. This lady's full of shit.
Jones had been mowing the lawn.
I was just riding along, minding my own business.
Out of the blue sky, a snake fell onto her arm.
Your instincts are just to sling it off. Then instead of slinging it off, he wrapped around my arm. Just wrapped around it. As I'm slinging, he's striking and striking. He's striking my glasses.
The snake over and over again, lunging towards Peggy's face.
And all you could see was this, it looked like a big wide mouth coming at your face.
After 4 tries, a hawk then ripping the snake away.
The hawk, I mean, his wings are just flapping, and I can feel the wings on me. I don't really know. I can't say I know how it feels to die because I'm still alive, but I really think that I got really close.
She wasn't speaking English. She was hysterical.
Peggy's husband Wendell also outside, running over to help.
The first words I heard was snake fell out of the air. So I'm thinking, yes, you are hysterical.
I told him, I said, a snake just fell out of the air. He said, a snake did this to you. I said, no, it was a snake. And then the snake was trying to bite me on my face.
She was just screaming and crying and trying to talk, but I just couldn't understand anything she said.
I said, the hawk came down and he got the snake. He tried to get the snake and he scratched all over my arms, and his talons were going into my arms, and my arms are tore up.
I took that dog struck Hemi, and I'm not going to tell you how fast I went through town, but we was flying.
Peggy now looking up, thanking her lucky stars she survived simultaneous attacks. I think you need a lottery ticket.
Yes. Yes.
What are the chances of you getting attacked by a snake and a hawk? Obviously, the hawk was trying to get the snake, but the snake was tearing her damn arm up. What are the chances a hawk fly right on it? That's called buzzard luck. You can't hunt and ain't nothing dying. Unbelievable. This lady here, now everything's funny and she memorializes it, but she's having nightmares at the same time. Get out of here, ma'am.
Yes.
Torn apart but alive with a new look on life.
In the blink of an eye and the snap of a finger, your life can change. And you don't know if it's going to be a hawk and a snake or a car wreck or whatever. I just love everybody and everything more. Even when I eat a piece of chocolate, it tastes so much better now than it did.
Reporting from Hardin County, Texas, Matthew Seedorf, Fox 26.
Unbelievable. Do I feel sorry for that lady? Absolutely not. White people have the worst luck with animals because they create their own luck with animals by not respecting them. Moral of the story. But I just wanted to go over those clips, you guys, today. All these clips were extremely entertaining. Some of them, obviously, a lot of these people who got caught, I'm glad they were caught. And like this man who had the rape dungeon on wheels and all these pedophiles. I root on the hawk and the snake. Those are the good guys. You had the white judge who was listening to Young Thug while he was sliding on the ops and wiping people's nose. Very entertaining, you guys. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. This has been Sports Life and Politics TV. I'm Samuel Koppel, YouTube's #1 couch detective. I'm here for the news. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. I just took your ass on. A judge might slide on you next. Ride. Peace.